Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Late game, Thursday night. Arkansas, the 10 seed, Texas Tech, the 3 seed. Betting line in this game. Arkansas is a 5.5-point underdog. Texas Tech is a 5.5-point favorite. This is the late game in San Francisco. By the way, Arkansas fans, if you think you're going to go, SeatGeek.com, promo code Torres. You get $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek.com, promo code Torres. If you're an Arkansas fan, by the way, you could be a Florida fan. You could be a Golden State Warriors fan that's going to be in the arena. SeatGeek.com, promo code Torres. But let's get to the preview in this game. I love it. First of all, I think Calipari is the story of the tournament. Left for dead. Now he's back like he never left. The emotional scene in Providence with his wife and his daughter. And the other thing is Arkansas is playing really well coming into this game. By the way, crazy that Arkansas, they're the highest seeded team left in this tournament, if I'm not mistaken, but they are the 10 seed coming in. Listen, the big news, and it's worth noting, we're recording here on Tuesday night at 6:38 Eastern time, and I'm a little confused about what Adu Thero's doing. Okay, so Adu Thero first of all, last Friday he practiced. Everybody thought he was playing Saturday. He does not play Saturday. They kind of needed him for Saturday. They could have just used another big body. They survive. Calipari on Tuesday morning goes on Pat McAfee, says, yeah, Thero's going to play. We need him. And then John Rothstein reports that he's got to go through practice, and they'll see from there. My guess is he's going to play. I don't think Cal puts it out there if he's not going to play. And I'll tell you what, another big body, another physical body, and it is the right kind of body that you need against Texas Tech with JT Toppin. Before we get to the Texas Tech side of things, one, I do expect Adu to play. Two, let me say this. I hope that Cal doesn't mess with the starting lineup. I know Adu was as good as anybody early, and the impact that he had was as big as anybody early. But that starting lineup that he has figured out with Jonas Adu and Trevin Brazil, they have seemed to figure things out. I know they weren't on the court for very much against St. John's the other day, but against Kansas, they were a nightmare. Trevin Brazil is a monster, and I think you're now bringing Adu Thero off the bench. That is incredible, but credit to Arkansas. They get here, they get back. By the way, here's the other thing. You can talk about, any of these teams that are playing this weekend. Everybody else had kind of a cakewalk in the round of 64, right? Florida got a 16 seed. Texas Tech got UNC Wilmington. Maryland had Grand Canyon. Oh, Arkansas got the team that was the preseason #1 team in the country, and they took care of business before they took care of St. John's. We talked about the St. John's game plenty. I liked the matchup going in, but I just bring it up to say that they got the victory, and that's all that matters. Texas Tech, I think it's a little bit of a quiet 2 games for them. They played UNC Wilmington to open the tournament. Weird game. It was one of the late tips. We were actually live on our Thursday night show before that game even went final, but it was close for a little while, but they kind of pulled away. And then I just thought that they were the right matchup on the right night for Drake. I think Drake is an incredible story. We'll get to Ben McCollum and Bennett Sturts later in the show when we talk portal, but I just bring it up because I just thought that was going to be a very tough matchup for Drake. It was. Texas Tech really kind of in control for all the game. They were up 37-30 at the half. It got close in the second half, but there was never really a moment where you felt like they were going to lose. And part of the reason you never felt like they were going to lose is because that front court of JT Toppin and Darian Williams was monstrous. Combined for 53 points on 22 of 41 shooting from the field. Not great at math. 22 of 41, well over 50%. And that front court, I knew they were going to give Drake problems, and that was kind of why I liked Texas Tech in that game. They were another survivor pick. Knock on wood. We'll see. I'm not saying all my survivor picks are right. It was just a good matchup for them. Coming into this one, let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Let's not beat around the bush. Let me give you my pick. Are you ready for this? By the way, old Southwest Conference rivalry, right? I could be mistaken on that. I'm a little young for the Southwest Conference rivalries, but I like Arkansas to win the game. I really do. First of all, with Texas Tech, JT Toppin is the head of the snake. Big 12 player of the year. portal kid, by the way. We talked about him a lot at this time last year, but 18 points per game, 9 rebounds. And how about this? Again, in that Drake game, 25 points, 12 boards. He's been phenomenal all season long. And the one thing I'm not going to say is like, oh, he hasn't played any. No. He's played a lot of great front courts in the Big 12. He produced against Kansas. He produced against Houston. He produced against everybody, okay? But Arkansas does have a unique blend of both size and now depth, especially with Adu Thero likely coming back. I think you can mitigate him a little bit down low. And then the other thing with Texas Tech, because I've had a lot of Arkansas fans reach out to me, the big variable with Texas Tech is like, you have to not let them go crazy from three. Because the thing about Texas Tech, they're going to take a lot of threes. It's funny. I looked it up. I think they're only like 25th nationally in 3-point attempts. But if you watch them, most games, they're just going to shoot the crap. They're just going to take a ton of threes, okay? Opening round game against UNC Wilmington. They could have put it away by dumping it to the Big 12 Player of the Year. Instead, they took 46 3-point attempts against Wilmington, took 43 at Fog Allen Fieldhouse, and it's crazy because they'll get really hot and then they'll go really cold. Against Kansas, I think they hit like 17 threes, and maybe not 17, but like 11 or 12 threes in the first half. They're up double figures going into the half. I think they were up 9, but you get the point. Then they go ice cold and they almost lose that game. So to me, the key with Texas Tech, you cannot let them get hot to start the game. If they get hot to start the game, we're talking about a scenario you could be down 22-8 before you even blink, and then you're not coming back from there. But if you can limit the 3-point shooting, just don't let them get too hot. I do think you have an advantage down low. JT Toppin is phenomenal. I don't think he's seen the size and physicality. Again, I don't want to say that because he has, but I think Arkansas is uniquely built to slow him down. So I'm taking the Big Pig Invasion into the Elite Eight. Arkansas 84, Texas Tech 79. I think that's similar to the Duke-Arizona game that I just gave, but I do like Arkansas to win and advance to the Elite Eight, where they would face the Florida Gators, which I will admit is a tough matchup for them.